MP. 7, Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS MP, to replace Senator Hamida Ali Kibwana, MP. B, pursuant to Standing Orders 193, 194, 197, and 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in select committees of the Senate as follows. 1, County Public Accounts Committee, Senator Joseph Kithuku, MP, and Senator Justice Retired Stewart Mazayo, EGH, MP, to replace Senator Jones Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Edwin Sifuna, CBS, MP. 2, County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, Senator Jones Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Hezena Lemaletian, MP, to replace Senator Eddie Okech, MP, and Senator Godfrey Osotsi, CBS, MP. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Next order. Honorable Senators, order Senators, Honorable Senators, I am rearranging the order paper to move on to order number 20. Next order.
Order number 20, the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Senate Bills number 43 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Dulo.
Which number is it? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am here to move the bill that reads the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill 2024. Madam Speaker, I actually came up with this bill because of many reasons. And if you travel abroad or in other jurisdictions, Madam Speaker.
Senator Dullo, please first move the bill that the bill be read a second time.
I can't see the whole bill. Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Senate Bill number 43 of 2024, second reading. Madam Speaker, the reason why I came up with this bill is because I have actually visited many jurisdictions where when you reach the airport, somebody will ask you, where are you going to stay? Which street, which hotel, or the number of the hotel, or the house that you will actually go and stay in. And I thought this is equally very important in our country because we have so many challenges, Madam Speaker, and I thought this bill will solve so many problems that we have in our country. And that is the reason why I came up with the bill. Madam Speaker, looking at the bill, the object of the bill, Madam Speaker, is number one, is to improve service delivery. If you look at many of our counties, Madam Speaker, in terms of emergency, whenever there are ambulances, whenever there are actually planning that needs to be done, revenue collection, Madam Speaker, it's normally very hard actually to reach individuals within those estates and also residential places. Madam Speaker, looking at this bill is going to solve all those problems and actually help the counties as far as service delivery is concerned. Madam Speaker, looking at the bill, you will see that the bill actually provides the structure and the procedure for coming up with the street naming and also how the committee is supposed to be formed, Madam Speaker, who are the members of the committee, who is the registrar, where the registrar should be as far as this bill is concerned. Madam Speaker, I will be able to go through the bill actually stage by stage to be able to come to explain why we need this particular bill, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at the Madam Speaker, memorandum of and the object of the bill, it provides the logical, consistent addressing system in a critical component of any county government service delivery system. In particular, it encourages and enables e-commerce, ease identification of streets and public places, improves emergency response services, enhances the management of settlement and development in the areas, and improves revenue collection. An addressing system therefore provides a platform to facilitate other county government functions, such as county planning, the need for a functional addressing system, and a dedicated team to ensure its enforcement and maintenance, therefore cannot be gainsaid. In this regard, the main object of the bill is to provide for procedures and guidelines for creating a county addressing system, and for this purpose, naming and addressing of streets and public places is in counties. The bill will therefore improve service delivery at the county level and will aid in modernization of the counties, and the bill will also help in preserving the history and heritage of counties and serve as a means of honoring persons who have made significant contribution to the history, culture, image, and development of the country. Madam Speaker, you will see that currently the manner in which actually street naming and honoring of heroes are done is haphazard. There are no procedures followed. But this particular bill provides guidelines on how actually those procedures should be followed. And where they feel that the name is not appropriate, there are procedures that needs to be followed to make sure that culture, heritage, and all those standards are actually kept, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at the bill, the first part is on interpretation. Then if you look at the second part, that is section 3, is the object and the purpose of the bill, or rather of the act once it is signed. Madam Speaker, then we have section 4 that talks about the scope of the act, which will actually apply to any person dealing with matters relating to addressing or custodian of the address data in Kenya. So there is data that is going to be kept as far as that information is concerned, to avoid replication and also duplication of numbers in residential areas, Madam Speaker. There are also guiding principles that are provided for under Section 5. The discharge of the function and act shall be guided by the principle and values set out in Article 10, 31, 43, 60, and 232 of the Constitution, and the guiding principles of the Act shall be inclusivity and participatory governance of the addressing regulatory framework that we need to put in place, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, part 2 of the bill establishes institutional framework on national addressing system. Madam Speaker, we don't have any policy or legislation currently governing as far as addressing and also street naming is concerned. Article 6 of the same act establishes the National Addressing Council. Madam Speaker, Section 7 provides for the functions of the council that is supposed to be established to carry out this particular responsibility. Then Section 8 of the act of the bill, Madam Speaker, provides for the conduct of the business and affairs of the council, reports by the councils once they sit and make deliberation. Madam Speaker, Section 11 actually provides where the headquarters of the street naming and addressing is concerned, which is supposed to be in Nairobi. Then Section 12 provides for the qualification for the appointment for a person to be a registrar as far as street naming and addressing is concerned. Madam Speaker, Section 14 also provides on how the registrar should be actually removed from the office. Then the office of the registrar, Section 15, the functions of the registrar. Madam Speaker, Section 18 of the Act also provides how the address is supposed to be allocated by the same committee. Madam Speaker, Part 4 or 5 of the bill establishes the County Addressing System Committee, because this has to be cascaded down to the county level. Madam Speaker, there is establishment of every county, a County Addressing System Committee, where the committee shall consist of the County Executive Committee member responsible for the communication, urban development, roads, and planning, who shall be the chairperson of the committee, then followed by the County Public Service Officer with knowledge in information and communication, and the rest is followed actually, Madam Speaker, in the bill. Then Section 41 of the bill provides for the term of office of a member of the committee. Section 22 of the bill provides for the functions of the committee on how they should operate and the powers they have. 23 provides for the committee, the meeting of the committee, how it should be run. Madam Speaker, then procedures for naming county streets and public places Section 25, that is part 6 of the bill. Madam Speaker, guidelines for naming the county streets and public places is also provided for under Section 27 of the bill. Madam Speaker, Section 29 of the bill provides for the procedure for renaming a county street or public places. Whenever there is actually a petition against particular decision that has been made by the committee, there are procedures that needs to be followed as far as renaming of the street is concerned in our country. Then 30 provides any developer who intends to create a private development shall submit a proposal. So whenever you want to actually submit a private development, you must actually provide a proposal to the committee that needs to look into it and provide proper guidelines on how that procedure should be followed. Part 7 is numbering of streets and properties. All properties to be numbered. So once this bill is ascended to and been put in operation, Madam Speaker, all the properties in the counties should be actually numbered, and that has to be kept by the registrar. Then Section 32 of the Land Registration Unit establishes under Section 6 and Land Registration Act shall advise on registration units to be advised on number 3 of 2012, Madam Speaker. Then Part 8 provides for miscellaneous provision of the Act, which provides for the county addressing plan. Then the titling also has to be aligned actually to the properties that are supposed to be given the numbers as per Section 34 is concerned. Intergovernmental consultation meetings must be held for the purpose of this particular bill, Madam Speaker. Then Section 37, the Cabinet Secretary in consultation with the Council of Governors and the authority shall establish regulation for the purpose of operationalization of this particular bill. Madam Speaker, if you look at the schedule procedures relating to the meeting of the council and the committees is also provided for within the Act as per Section 8 and Section 23 of the bill. I think, Madam Speaker, this is basically a very important bill because it helps in so many ways as far as planning is concerned, as far as service delivery is concerned, revenue collection is concerned, security is concerned, because sometimes you will find that whenever somebody has committed a crime, they disappear and nobody knows their whereabouts. But if we have this bill and residential areas are numbered as far as this bill is concerned, it will help in so many ways in our country to bring sanity to our service delivery and also other procedures are concerned. With those many points, Madam Speaker, I wish to stop here and request Senator Cherargei to second the bill. I thank you.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the distinguished senator of Isiolo and ranking member of the Senate, I think she's among the few who have served longest in this Senate. And she's among the only, if I'm right in this session, among the only 3 women who got elected as the senators. And I think that Senator Dulu has proven, and also, as I second, Madam Speaker, Senator Dulu has proven that if you are nominated and you work hard, you can be elected. So it's a challenge to colleagues who want to get elected. You should get some lessons from Senator Dulu, who is the incoming governor of Isiolo County. Madam Speaker, I think she's even overqualified to be in Senate. Either she becomes a governor or a cabinet secretary. Madam Speaker, the street naming and property addressing system bill is just basically, Madam Speaker, you know this is the only country where you still use language and sign to trace my home, to trace your home, to trace an hospital, to trace a school, to trace a fire engine, to trace a government service, asking around like a gossip. Do you know where so-and-so lives? Do you know where the hospital lives? We have not properly done what we call a national addressing system. What it means, Madam Speaker, and you know you are well-traveled, a number of colleagues have been lucky to travel, and you can appreciate when you are in Europe and America, when you say address this road, number this, you can get that individual person or a facility or an infrastructure. And I know Senator Chesang is also well-traveled, although he mostly goes to Dubai, but he knows also in some of those areas. You know, I think, Madam Speaker, you need in future to also organize Senator Cheburet to also travel. I know the farthest he has gone is Mogotio during court auctioning. So we need to travel so that you can see the address, Madam Speaker, so that when you come to your house, either, you know, you are a lady of many, you are a Western and Western region and Luo Nyanza area, we can come to your house and know that. That is basically what the law is all about. The issue is to increase efficiency, for one, for services, essential services, such as Madam Speaker, my able senior sister has developed. You want to get an ambulance, you want to get a school, you want to get an hospital, Madam Speaker, you want to access essential services, Madam Speaker, it should be accessible. I think that is what this bill is trying to address, so that we can ensure that a national addressing system. I know in some areas in this city, you still have those addresses, especially in upmarket areas like Runda, like Karen, Madam Speaker, like Itusuru, like Igiri. But Madam Speaker, when you go to Muguru kwa Njenga or Muguru kwa Rupen, you must look for the local Mukasa. You must look for the local elder to take you to, if you live in Muguru kwa Njenga or Kibra, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank the President, because this is the first time a sitting President has hosted village elders in State House. And we must celebrate. I think President William Ruto, Madam Speaker, is showing that everybody matters. Even the local Kokwet elder, which most of us assume. They are the ones who ensure there is unity. They are the ones who are, they are like Google of the village, of that village. Because if you want to know, Madam Speaker, somebody's house, if you ask a Mukasa, a Kokwet elder, Madam Speaker, they can tell you, and that is what the President was telling the Kokwet elders. It's part of national addressing system, Madam Speaker. If you want to know what is happening, you just ask your village elder. He or she, and I'm happy it's no longer men only, it's also she, Madam Speaker. You can ask, they will be able to tell you who is giving birth next week, whose cows has been stolen, whose cows has given birth, who has slept with who in the village, who has marital problems, whose husband has run away or has never appeared since he came to Nairobi, back to the village. They are what we call data. They are the village Google map. And I want to thank the President, Madam Speaker, because those are people we will need to work with as we do national addressing system, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank that even they have been given a stipend, Madam Speaker. The village elders, we only used to pay from assistant chief, and even village administrators were paid by county. But the honor that the President gave those village elders, they will never forget. I think some of them, this is the first time they are stepping into Nairobi. But not only Nairobi, they are stepping to the most famous address in the city. And that is the State House address, Madam Speaker, which a number of Kenyans have never had a privilege to visit in the previous regimes, Madam Speaker. And I know going into the future, Madam Speaker, so this issue of national addressing system, we must ensure that we focus on it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you have had the Vision 2060 by His Excellency the President. You have had even your party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, and the late, may his soul rest in peace, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the enigma of Kenyan politics, had the vision of 2060. One of the ways, Madam Speaker, is to have national addressing system which creates efficiency, in terms of essential services and where we live. Not only basic, but even taxes and many other issues. And even many people, Madam Speaker, have been asking, where does President Ruto Vision 2060 got from? He got it from Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, who had the vision, Madam Speaker, of a better Kenya. And we are saying we are going to Singapore via Canaan. The only way to reach Singapore via Canaan is not to ask where your address is or to ask people in the village, I want to go to a certain hospital, I want to go to a certain ambulance center, I want to go to a certain school. You just use what we call a data that is provided. That is the first world we are talking about. That is the Vision 2060 that the President is talking about. And I want to thank Baba Raila Odinga and President William Ruto for this vision that we now need to have a conversation as a country on the future of this country. But I want to speak when you have spineless and rudderless and agendaless, planless opposition in this country who only think about the election instead of thinking about the future generation, the prosperity of this country, Madam Speaker. And therefore, what Senator Dulo is trying to ensure is efficiency in terms of service delivery, Madam Speaker. There is also the postal address. I remember, I don't know whether the America, Madam Speaker, they are voting by mail. The issue of tax, revenue collection, it will assist. In fact, the land rates and land rate, all counties should ensure, Madam Speaker, that they support these, all counties, because it will allow the efficiency of revenue, will allow, Madam Speaker, and I want to say we need counties to function. And I'm happy Senator Dulo has ensured that the role of county government under Article 96, our role is to protect the interest of the counties and to oversight as per Article 96. Madam Speaker, even our counties, I know Senator Kamar also comes from both counties, Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu. And he knows the other day somewhere in Elgeyo Marakwet there are fireworks where a deputy governor who is a woman, I think Professor Cheserek, was being undermined and curtailed by the governor. But I'm happy that woman told off the governor. The deputy governor told off the governor. Because we cannot be talking about the efficiency of counties and revenue collection, yet people are being undermined. And therefore, Madam Speaker, the issue of revenue collection, we must ensure counties also. Madam Speaker, I've sat in Public Accounts Committee for some time, and I know you sit in devolution and intergovernmental. One of the biggest challenges, and you and me agree, is the missed target of own source revenue by most of the counties, by a huge margin of 60%. We are now georeferencing. We now have digital maps. We want to georeference. We want to do national addressing system to allow efficiency of collection of revenue, Madam Speaker. And that is why even committees, the Public Accounts Committee, there is Public Investment Committee. I can see the newest Deputy Minority Whip trying to give notes to the immediate Vice Chair of PAC on how to collect what we call non-revenue water, where most municipalities and water companies are struggling. This one will come in handy because we will know where you are. It is easy to build. And by the way, Madam Speaker, I want to encourage colleagues. It is safer to participate in all committees. Even if there was a committee of catering, don't worry, just serve there. Serve in finance, serve in public accounts, serve in energy. Madam Speaker, we should learn to appreciate that the formation of committees, and every senator in this room, including you, Madam Speaker, has a right to serve in any committees, has a right to chair in any committees. Even personally, Madam Speaker, in 2018, I was de-whipped by Jubilee. I was the chairperson of Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights. Madam Speaker, I've been the backbencher since then, but I don't find anything out of ordinary, because the interest I represent is on behalf of the great people of Nandi, Madam Speaker, where people brought you. You represent special interest in this country alongside Senator Karen and a number of colleagues, Senator Kamar, who was our deputy speaker. But you imagine the way Senator Kamar is so humble, you cannot know she's a former Minister of Education, she's a former Eldoret South Member of Parliament, one of the few women from Kalenjin community. She was our Deputy Speaker of the Senate, like you, Madam Speaker, presiding over the sittings. It doesn't hurt, Madam Speaker, just serve where you are given. Even if there was a committee of catering, just serve there, you learn something, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I think we need to ensure our committees function properly. Another one, Madam Speaker, because I can see my time is spent, is establishment of National Addressing Council, which is very critical in clause number 8. Madam Speaker, let me just quickly, because I have the final and third point, is the functions of the registrar, who will ensure, manage, and maintain a custodian of national addressing system. That is clause number 15, Madam Speaker, will ensure that if there are issues around the data, the maintenance and national. Madam Speaker, let me go quickly to the clause 16 and 16, Madam Speaker. I'm happy the owner of the bill, the distinguished Senator of Isiolo, has said that they must protect data. Madam Speaker, you are aware we have passed what we call Data Protection Act in this House. Also, it's one of the litigated, it's one of the bills or acts of parliament that we have passed, Madam Speaker, that will always face legal hurdles. Madam Speaker, the issue of data protection, we must ensure that we give in and ensure that we protect data. We are saying that data given to Kenyans. Madam Speaker, Senator Eddie, I think, is served under PIC. You realize most of the hospitals in this republic, Madam Speaker, anybody can access your data. Yet these are private and important issues about people's health. I think when you read OAG reports, Madam Speaker, you will notice most of our data is exposed, especially by public hospitals. And I hope Senator Eddie and the other committee of PIC, although I know he's still not there, can provide advice on how we can do data protection, Madam Speaker. And we become responsible on how we share data, Madam Speaker, so that we move forward as a country. I think the establishment of county committees, Madam Speaker, in short, so that I can listen to colleagues also, this is one of the brilliant bills. This is the bill that will take us to Singapore via Canaan. And I want to thank the distinguished senator, and I'm remembering she was also our deputy, I think majority whip, majority leader in the last session for coming up with such a bill. This is the conversation we have of Vision 2060 that the president is proposing, Madam Speaker. The street naming, we need efficiency, but also we need to call upon counties, including Nairobi, Madam Speaker, to have proper planning. Let us have street planning. Let us have organized roads. Let us ensure our roads are drainage. I'm surprised, Madam Speaker, that I'm told somebody has gone to court to block pedestrian walkways in Nairobi. You know, it shocks me. There are no pedestrian walkways in Nairobi and other major cities in this country. And therefore, Madam Speaker, that's why you and me appreciate that that is why most of the pedestrians are being knocked down here and there, because we need to ensure the pedestrian walkways. We need to plan our cities better, Madam Speaker. I think when you travel to other countries, you can see, especially Europe and America, that they have planned better. And I think it is the challenge that in this, the street naming and property addressing, and I want to appeal to Kenyans, Madam Speaker, we want also to ensure we prevent any other issues that individuals, Madam Speaker, might buy property and hide. It will even assist investigative agencies. Because if you suspect property XY belongs to Senator Cherargei, it is easy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, and I can see my time is up, Madam Speaker, allow me to second and ask the members of the Senate to also support so that we can fast track and transmit it to the National Assembly, and hopefully the President can assent to it, and then we can move on as a country. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield back the mic.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the street naming and property addressing system bill, Senate Bills number 43 of 2024, be now read a second time. Senator Professor Kamara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity that you have given me to support this very progressive bill by the Senator of Isiolo, Senator Fatuma Dulo. Madam Speaker, I rise to support this because I think we have a lot of challenges in this country. If you drive across this country at night, even shopping centers have not been labeled. So if you are lost, you give asking at every shopping center, you see somebody passing by, please, where am I? You give asking names because you are not able to tell. It's not all of us who have Google Maps. It's not all of us who are able to actually know directions, especially when you go to the interior. So this is just the beginning. I take this bill to be the beginning of organizing ourselves as a country. organizing ourselves when it comes to the naming of our streets. And I like the objects of this bill, particularly the fact that we need to address, we need to appreciate the people who have worked in our counties. We know that we're supposed to have a building where we have the names of eminent people who have been in our counties, and that bill has not arrived from the National Assembly. It's been there for a long time, and we hope this one will not be wasted also. But when you look at the objects, it's very clear that we need to create and manage a national address system, so that if an ambulance goes to pick a patient, they know where they're going. And they can now Google the right address. But currently, you talk of the street, Kenyatta Street in Eldoret, and you are asking somebody, do I start from the northern side of the street or the lower side of the street when you are looking for a building? So this is a very progressive bill. To be able to also give address of the buildings that we have. You talk of Kenyatta Avenue here. You ask for a saloon and you're told it's in Kenyatta Avenue. You have to ask more questions. Where in Kenyatta Avenue? Because there is no address that can tell you that you go to number 1 Kenyatta Avenue or you go to number 20 Kenyatta Avenue. This is going to simplify a lot of things. Madam Speaker, I went to school in the University of Toronto. Toronto is an amazing city which has streets that are parallel and diagonal. You have east-west streets, and they start from only one point. From that point, you can read east to the end, from number 1 to wherever it is. You can go, in fact, up to 20 kilometers on that one street. But they have labeled them number 1, number 2, right to the end. And when you are looking for a building, you're just looking for the number. Any taxi will take you where you want to go. The same thing to the north and the south. So that you start from the middle. In fact, interestingly, that middle area was where the University of Toronto itself is very close. So we knew we would never get lost. You cannot get lost in a city like that, like Toronto in Canada. This is what we need in Nairobi. You don't need to be asking everybody for where to go. We need to know if a chemist is in street number 1B, then you go to number 1B. So we need a very simple way of listing our streets or creating address for our streets. And this is extremely important. And it's more important not just for the essential services that we require, but also for people who want to visit. Our tourists, God save them, because when they're in the streets of Nairobi, they don't know where to go because they cannot name anything. So they don't know where to meet unless they're in a hotel. Because now you can find the hotels because they've been marked, even in Google. But if you are not in a hotel and you're going to buy something, and they go out to buy something, they can spend the whole day looking for one another. Just because they can't. We have not named, we have not put any address in any of the shops that we have. And that is really something. So establishing a framework for standardizing how we name our streets, and in which and how we name we place our addresses is extremely important. And I thank Senator Dulo for coming up with such an important bill. Madam Speaker, we are dealing with, in the Committee of Devolution, we are dealing with municipalities, the establishment of new municipalities in this country. And this bill, when it goes through, will be able to guide them, because they will realize that if they plan their municipalities from inception, it will be very easy for them to actually put addresses on them. Because you cannot put an address in something that is confused and doesn't have clear directions. So while we are dealing with the planning of municipalities, this again is a bill that is going to take us very far. Madam Speaker, mine was going to be very free because I fully support and I see that it's going to take us from the darkness that we are in, as I said, dark streets that you cannot tell where you are, from shopping centers that have not been labeled, to streets where you cannot tell whether you are in the east or the west of wherever you are going. Providing a framework for the preservation of a county's history is one of the most important features that this bill is going to have. Because we know that there are people who have made notable contributions in our counties. But we have appeared as though we are a country that does not have a sense of appreciation to human beings. So that we have people, elders who have gone, who made a lot of impact. We have people in our history who even participated in the independence of this country, but nobody has recognized them. So again, by coming up with this kind of naming, we will be able to, street naming, we should be able to recognize each and everybody who has been in our counties. And everybody will feel appreciated, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the institutional framework has been well articulated. I don't want even to touch on that one. And just to say, Madam Speaker, that it is very, very important for us to recognize that an organized way of creating an address system is the foundation of the development of any municipality, any town, and any city. And we should support this bill and make sure that it moves from this house today to the next house so that it comes back for ascending. With those remarks, Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Nyamu, did you want to contribute? Senator Nyamu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support the street naming and addressing bill by Senator Dulo. Mr. Speaker, this is a very progressive bill, and this is one of those legislations whose impact will be felt directly by the people. At a glance, when you look at this bill, you might think it is a bill about naming streets. But when you read it carefully, you realize it is a bill on planning, it is a bill on order, and it is a complete game changer. One of the strongest attributes of this bill is that it requires every street, every property to have a unique number that identifies it, Madam Speaker. Another good thing about this bill is that it respects the place of devolution, because as much as there's a national aspect to it, the bill gives a responsibility to county addressing committees to identify and come up with a proper way of naming our streets and properties. This bill is going to impact our emergency services, as the mover has clearly stated. Because when you're in an ambulance, every second counts. And so if you have the exact address, the chances of getting lost are eliminated. To date, as Kenyans, it is a shame that we still describe addresses like past the Blue Gate, after the 3rd block, Ukipiga corner, you know? And if you have traveled, you will appreciate so much this piece of legislation. And I want to urge the committees, the addressing committees, that the informal sectors and rural areas are not left out during the addressing, and the fast-growing towns are not left out during this addressing. Madam Speaker, I am not a feminist, but I note that this very progressive law is brought to this House by a woman, a strong woman, a role model to us. And Madam Speaker, today, Boni Halwale, Senator, I don't know what he has against me. He has championed people to shoot down my bill on mining, Madam Speaker. The entitlement with these older senators who think that they are the only ones who can bring a progressive bill to this House. I had a side talk with him, and I wanted to understand why he lobbied to shoot down my bill. And he told me that in Ikolomani, they got 58 shillings as royalties. So what does it have to do with the committees that I was establishing in my bill to handle royalties? It is up to him to go.
Senator Karen Nyamu, you are making an allegation which I don't know whether you can substantiate. I think you might just want to contribute to this bill because you are not here
what I'm
most
saying,
of the time, and I think if you are put
what
to
I'm saying
yeah.
can be, I have witnesses in this House, and I want to tell Senator Boni Halwale, if he wants to come and vie for Nairobi Woman Rep with me, he is free to do so, but he should let us women take up our legislative role, and we are minding our own business. But if he wants to go low, Madam Speaker, we know how to go lower. And with those few remarks, I want to support this bill, and that is going to change the landscape of this country completely. I thank you.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Madam Speaker, right from the onset, may I support and appreciate the depth of this bill. In fact, I've had the honor as the Chair of Roads and Transport Committee to be able to canvass through this bill when it was brought to my committee. And I want to appreciate Senator Dulo for this incredible piece of legislation that she has brought. In fact, it's one of the most forward-thinking pieces of legislation that we have in our country, Madam Speaker. I don't imagine where we can see that a number of countries are now moving towards digital address system, that in our country we are still struggling with address systems of locations, homes, commercial places, in such a way that, Madam Speaker, if you may think about it, people struggle to even just name where they're going by landmarks. You'll find Senator Methu sometimes coming to Nairobi from his home constituency. When he's giving you direction, he wants to tell you that come near this building or that building or this kind of landmark. In a time that other countries that have made adventurous strides on technology are now in nanotechnology, and we are still struggling with simple address systems. So it is a very forward-thinking bill that we must appreciate Senator Dulo for. And Madam Speaker, this bill, the way it is constructed and the way we worked on it together with Senator Dulo, is a bill that will solve a lot of problems that I wish that this House will even be able to fast-track. If you look at part 2 of the bill, it talks about institutional framework on national addressing system. This framework, Madam Speaker, has been put to the extent that it deals with a number of indices that pertain to the Land Commission and pertains also to the departments, state departments that will deal with communication, Madam Speaker, to the extent that the setting up of this bill will move us very fast from just normal and typical addressing system to catching up on the digital address system, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, the essence of this bill, if you look at it, the way it is constructed, Madam Speaker, I like the contribution by my sister and senior, Senator Kamar. The first sense that it brings about, Madam Speaker, is the idea of rapid response to emergencies that we have in this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there is nothing that will save lives than having accurate street names and property numbers that will allow things like ambulances, even police, and sometimes even firefighters reach and be able to locate victims of different emergencies in our country more instant than what this bill proposes, Madam Speaker. To that effect, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill will help us to eliminate delays where we no longer depend on landmarks, as I've said, or sometimes even kiosk. And some people from the villages will look ridiculous if we're even using things like trees and informal stages. It used to be that when I came to Nairobi first, Madam Speaker, when you wanted to locate yourself within the Nairobi CBD, you simply went to OTC and sometimes to Afya Center. And then you start getting your bearing from OTC and Afya Center, Madam Speaker. Just imagine the kind of delay if this was to be supposed to be the firefighters going through OTC, which still has got a lot of traffic, to locate where they need to go. And sometimes even just to deal with the traffic that we see in this city, Madam Speaker, it is extremely important that we can be able to name our streets, our businesses, our residential areas properly, which is what this bill proposes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, alongside that, Madam Speaker, you've seen a number of companies coming into the country. I came from the private sector, and if you see me celebrating this bill, Madam Speaker, it's because of the kind of menace I saw in the private sector. If you think about e-commerce and logistics businesses that have tried in the startup space in this country, the reason why they collapse seriously is because there's no boost in terms of addressing system. Madam Speaker, there's a company called Sendi, one of the companies that I really enjoyed using their services, and I also really celebrated the brainchild of that company coming from Nyanza and a son of this a son of this country called Meshach, Madam Speaker. One of the biggest struggles that Sendi ended up facing was the issue of proper addressing system, because you'll find that in the cargo business and delivery business, Madam Speaker, they had serious problem with labeled areas that were not making sense. To some extent, even the addresses were not verified. So that the e-commerce businesses in this country and any startups that tried to enter the e-commerce sector, including startups like Jumia, Madam Speaker, you'll find that these businesses face about 70% to 75% delays in terms of delivering cargo. And the investment is humongous, because if you have got, for instance, trucks delivering cargoes to different places, any delay, first of all, deals with time, and any delays also have got impact in terms of their fuel that they must spend in these vehicles, Madam Speaker. So then you end up having a serious cash crunch in terms of cash flow for these businesses. They end up using a lot of money in just trying to navigate poorly marked addresses, and sometimes addresses that are not verified at all. So, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill by Senator Dulo will be able to help us boost and bolster the e-commerce and the logistic business that we have in this country. Some of these e-commerce, Madam Speaker, a myriad of them that we are seeing now across the country are also in the areas of door-to-door delivery. And Madam Speaker, I'm sure you are quite familiar with things like Glovo, things like Uber Eats, We have got Lyft, we have got Maramoja that tried and sometimes faced a lot of failure because of lack of digital addressing system, Madam Speaker. Those simple digital enabled services that are delivered to a door-to-door, be it from food delivery to people who are seeking rides, services to people who are simply trying to navigate simple door-to-door and doorstep deliveries, Madam Speaker. These are times that this kind of bill will allow them to be more accurate, Madam Speaker. And when that accuracy comes about, it does not only bolster and boost the revenue to the private sector, Madam Speaker, it actually also does boost the revenue to government. Because, Madam Speaker, efficient taxation and tax collection in this country is not devoid of standardized addresses that can be able to allow KRA, for instance, be able to locate businesses more easily and be able to locate some of the informal businesses that cannot be put in the tax bracket, because now they can also have an advantage to be able to reach those businesses, to be able to enable them have better services, Madam Speaker. And even as a house, we are here to promote what you'll call devolution. And even in our devolved systems, where we have seen things like property rate management and land rates, Madam Speaker, as a revenue stream for our counties, this is what will bolster their sense of revenue collection. Because if you look at the way this bill is constructed, Madam Speaker, you can see that it will enable the land authorities in counties to be more accurate in terms of registering different property, and also to be able to track, defaulters who are defaulting on land rates with better way of being able to, identify those land and different property that perhaps are not well located digitally. So, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill will have an overarching and overreaching effect on revenue collection in the public sector, just the same way it will be able to help boost the cash flow of the private sector. But, Madam Speaker, up and above that, this bill is not only about money, and it's not only about efficiency and effectiveness in terms of delivery of services to people, but it's also actually a very good bill that will ensure that there is proper public service delivery. Madam Speaker, if you think about some of the things that I was talking about that I was dealing with in the committee of CIPIC, where I served as a vice chair, and now, Madam Speaker, I've also been removed from CIPIC. I don't know why, when members were contributing, they were not sympathizing with me. That I've been a very good member of CIPIC, a very good contributor in CIPIC, and I've been taken away of that committee. Perhaps the nation should know that I have not cried, because I think that members who were taken from other committees, like Senator Ezena, as well as Senator Mwaruma, will just contribute as best as I did. Some of the utilities that I was dealing with in that committee, Madam Speaker, includes water. Water services in our counties. How WSPs are able to take water to different communities, both by rectification and also by BOZA, water BOZA deliveries to these places. If you think about electricity in our communities, Madam Speaker, you'll be called about a transformer here that has experienced some vagaries of nature, therefore it burst. They're bursting every single second. If you think about metering, water metering systems in our urban areas, and even electricity metering systems in our urban areas, Madam Speaker, these are services that governors and government, national government should actually be able to give our people. Telecommunication companies in the country, Madam Speaker, how easy can they map places where they're going to correct a mast that has faced a problem here and there, or they are simply going to do an internet connectivity exercise, or any kind of services to all these households, Madam Speaker. They spend a lot of time just trying to navigate, just trying to figure out where they are going to offer this service, Madam Speaker. And in some cases, people have delayed services to the extent that a week or a month, household goes without electricity, household goes without water provision, household go without proper telecommunication responses on a matter as simple as just lack of navigation. The address system cannot be found. And Madam Speaker, this happens because of lack of this proper addressing system. And this bill will solve this in the most timely manner, Madam Speaker. I've also seen this, Madam Speaker, if you think about it, in terms of even our delayed schooling problems. If you think about it, Madam Speaker, school capitation disbursement that we see here, and sometimes simple facilities that you can be able to track in our schools, we have a problem because of our addressing system, Madam Speaker. Think about even when our kids are going towards examination, and you have sent officers to take exams to different places, and you are told that exams arrived in some places 2 days late, some have arrived hours late, and you want to harmonize a way with which all the exams can start at the same time. Madam Speaker, you end up having delayed schooling, delayed examination, simply because people cannot be able to get address. You have sent people to Turkana, you have sent people to somewhere like Migori, in Nyatike. Exams once arrive late because somebody did not know how to navigate a school somewhere in a remote village. This kind of innovation will help us to be able to deal with those kind of problems, Madam Speaker. And we are going to an electoral cycle, Madam Speaker. And you know, during elections, we have seen a time without number, ballot papers arriving very late because drivers could not be able to navigate some school in Kwiroro, where Senator Boni Alwale comes from, or some school or polling station in Masangora, where I come from in Kuria. You are told that, the ballots, instead of arriving at 8 a.m., they're arriving at 5 p.m. and denying people from those places their rightful constitutional right to vote, Madam Speaker. So this is a very holistic bill that will solve a lot of our problems as a country, Madam Speaker. And in any case, if you're not doing it just for the country and services and making sure that commerce goes well in the country, it is very important that where Kenya finds itself today, Madam Speaker, we can have a global standard and in our digital mapping system of our addresses, Madam Speaker. This is the bill that is first going to be bold enough to make sure that we have got a unified framework to deal with systems that are fragmented in our local areas in terms of data gathering of local businesses, data gathering of local residential areas, data gathering of local property, to the extent that we can be able to match countries that has made serious strides in terms of accurate GPS data. And Madam Speaker, this is just something that we must achieve as a country. We must be a country that is integrated into the global GPS system in terms of address system, so that even businesses that have made strides, like Amazon, for instance, if they were to expand to Kenya and create thousands of businesses, and perhaps even people who are in the venture capital markets that perhaps want to invest in something like Jumia, something like Sandy that died, something like Twiga Foods that died, Madam Speaker, something like Glovo, something like Uber, something like, we have another one called Bolt. If we are going to attract foreign direct investment and even mobilize local capital into the venture market, Madam Speaker, they must have confidence that our GPS data makes sense to the global north and to the global business circle. And the only way we can be able to approve to meet that, Madam Speaker, is giving this bill some breath to life and making sure that, Madam Speaker, when somebody thinks about the use of plus codes, for instance, to be able to ensure a sober digital address system, then it makes sense for Kenya. And Madam Speaker, if South Africa has this, and we are competing with them at a global level in terms of economic merit. If Egypt have the same, if Nigeria have the same proper and sound addressing system, there is no reason why Kenya is lagging behind. So I want to congratulate my sister, my senior ranking member, Senator Dulo, for thinking like a Gen Z, for thinking, like the younger generation and bringing a sober bill to this house that will make sure that issue of address system is something that will be something of the past if this bill is implemented. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to proudly support and wish that the majority leader will follow this bill very strongly in the National Assembly and make sure that it is given life during our time as a Senate before this fourth Senate dissolves comes next year. I support and I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kinyua.
Asanti Bi Speaker kunipa fursa hii, na nataka kumpongeza Senator Dulo kwa kuleta mswada huu wa mfumo wa utambuzi wa anwani za majengo na upeaji majina barabara. Bi Speaker, huu mswada unapaswa kuwa umepitishwa kwa wakati huu, kwa sababu kumekuwa na changamoto katika miji yetu na vile vile katika sehemu nyingi za Jamhuri ya Kenya. Lakini tukipata kupitisha mswada huu, kutakuwa na udhabiti, kujua mahali ambapo mtu anakoenda. Bwana Spika, mtu akisafiri nchi zingine ambazo zimeendelea, Bwana Spika, Abi Spika, inakuwa ni rahisi sana kupata ramani mahali unakoenda, kwa sababu majengo ya nyumba yamewekwa alama vizuri na vile vile yanajulikana kwa majina. Barabara zina majina na vile vile sehemu zote mahali unapitia kuna majina. Bi Speaker, mswada huu ukipita itaweka wazi, kwa sababu hapa nchini unapata hata wakati kumekuwa na janga la moto, inakuwa ni vigumu sana haya magari ya kuzima moto kuweza kufika mahali ambapo mtu angelitaka kwenda kuzima ule moto. Sio hiyo peke yake, Bwana Spika, hata wakati kuna haya mashambulizi, pengine upige simu unataka usaidizi, huwezi ukaambilia mtu mahali upo, kwa sababu miji yetu vile vile manispaa zetu ziko katika hali shagarabagara. Kisa na maana kwa sababu hakuna mpangilio wote ambao umewekwa wazi. Kwa hivyo nataka kukubaliana na Senator Dulo, na huu mswada, Bi Speaker, unapaswa ukuwa umepitishwa wakati huu tunaongea, kwa sababu Bi Speaker, kitu cha kwanza wakati tunaanzisha miji yoyote ni kuwe na zile ramani ambazo zimewekwa wazi, na zikiwa zimewekwa wazi unaona ya kwamba tutakuwa tukizuia mambo mengi. Sio tu huu kupatia majina, Bwana Speaker, Abi Speaker, lakini vile vile hawa watu ambao wanaiba mali wanaweza wakasimamishwa na mswada huu, kwa sababu tukiweza kuwa na mfumo mpya wa kusema hospitali iko hapa, jina la ile hospitali, sio tu Bi Speaker kusema ya kwamba hospitali iko pale, lakini kunapaswa kuwe na mikakati thabiti ya kusema ya kwamba hata alama na vile ambavyo zinapewa majina ama ile lamani ambayo itakayotumika, Bi Speaker, imeelezewa wazi hapa katika mswada huu. Kwa hivyo, Bi Speaker, huu mswada ni mswada ambao utachangia mambo mengi. Utachangia mambo ya kidharura, tutakuwa tumeweza kujiondoa katika zile changamoto, Bwana Speaker, Abi Speaker. Vile vile ikiwa ni taasisi tofauti ambazo zinahusika, kama ni wale watu ambao wanahusika kuhusu mambo ya kawi ama stima, Bi Speaker, wale ambao wanahusika na mambo ya maji, Bi Speaker, wanaweza kufuatilia vizuri wakati unaweka maji. Unajua sehemu hii inapaswa kuwa ni ya maji, na kuna vile vibao ambavyo vimewekwa vizuri, na mtu anaweza kujua hii sehemu inapaswa kutumiwa kufanya kazi gani na ile nyingine inapaswa kutumia kufanya kazi gani. Bi Speaker, mimi na wewe tuko katika kamati ya elimu. Ukitembea sehemu nyingi huwezi kujua mahali kunapaswa kuwa kama ni shule ya chekechea ama ni hizi shule ni shule gani yoyote, lakini kukiwa na hizi ramani unaweza kufuatilia vizuri. Tumekuwa na wewe tukizunguka, mfano Mombasa, tumezunguka katika vile vitongoji, Bwana Bi Speaker, unapata barabara hakuna, lakini pale ndani unapata iko shule, lakini kuweza kufika katika ile shule inakuwa ni changamoto. Ikiwa kumetokea mfano kuna jambo lolote, mkasa wa moto, kumetokea mkasa wa upepo, pengine vitu vimebomolewa, hata kumwambilia mtu mahali ulipo inakuwa ni changamoto. Bi Speaker, Bi Speaker, ni vizuri huu mswada hivi umeletwa, Bwana Bi Speaker, na mimi nasema umechelewa kwa sababu nchi nyingi ambazo tunatembelea haupaswi kumuuliza mtu njia. Ukija hapa Nairobi, na mji huu ndio mji ambao tunaweza tukajivunia, unapata hata kujua, ukiambiliwa mahali utaenda, hakuna chochote kinakwambia, na vibao havijaandikwa vizuri. Ukijaribu kutumia hata mifumo ya kisasa ambayo unatumia Google Maps, inafika mahali unapata barabara imepotea kabisa. Kisa na maana hakuna zile ramani ambazo zimeandikwa vizuri. Kwa hivyo mswada huu, nikitaka kumpongeza Senator Dulo, mswada huu utatusaidia Bi Speaker, sio tu kwa mipango ya kitaifa ama mipango ya gatuzi zetu, lakini hata vile vile maisha yetu kama wananchi wa Kenya itakuwa imepungua. Kwa nini? Ukiwa unatumia gari, Bi Speaker, unaweza ukazunguka mji huu wa Nairobi bila kujua mahali unakokwenda, kwa sababu hakuna ramani thabiti ya kuonyesha mahali unakwenda. Ukitembelea nchi kama Dubai, hauhitaji kumuuliza mtu yoyote, kwa sababu kuna ramani ambazo ziko wazi, unaweza kuziona. Ukienda kama Marekani ni wazi, nyumba unaona vile ambavyo namba zilizowekwa, unajua upande huu ni namba zipi ziko, upande huu ni namba zapi ziko. Lakini ukitembelea hili jiji letu la Nairobi, Bi Speaker, utafikiria na mji wote ni kitongoji duni, Bi Speaker. Ukianzia kutoka hapa, ukitembea uwezi jua nyumba ni lipi, rangi ni tofauti, hakuna nambari yoyote, uwezi jua ni nyumba ni ipi. Nyumba zenyewe Bi Speaker hazipakwi rangi, ni nyumba kuukuu. Najua mswada huu utasaidia katika hiyo hali ya kuweza kuonyesha wazi na kusaidia katika mambo ya kuweka ramani, ndio tuweze kusonga mbele, nitasaidia hata kupanga. Bi Speaker, naunga mkono mswada huu na nampongeza Senator wa Isiolo Dulo kwa mswada huu, na nataka kuhakikishia kwamba tutaunga mkono, ndio Senate hii itakapokuwa ikimaliza kazi yake tukue tumepitisha mswada huu. Ndiposa ukitembea na nyuki unaweza kuona hii sehemu ni gani. Tukienda Isiolo tunaona barabara ambayo inaitwa Dulo. Ukienda mahali kunaitwa Eldoret tunaona barabara ambayo inaitwa Professor Kamar, na ni barabara ambayo imenyoka vizuri na barabara ambayo imetengenezwa. Nasema asante Bi Speaker, na naunga mkono.
Honorable Senators, I don't see another request for contribution, so I wish to call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and all those who have contributed to this particular bill. Madam Speaker, as members have said, this bill will solve a lot of problems in our country, economically, socially, and also putting things in order as far as service delivery is concerned, revenue collection is concerned, security, planning. Because sometimes back when I went to my county in some of the villages, whenever there is an emergency, there is no road actually that will be able to guide you very fast and getting mothers who are requiring quick action as far as service delivery is concerned. And I think if this bill is put into operation, Madam Speaker, this will actually be a game changer. And again, Madam Speaker, it will also encourage international companies to come and invest in this country, because it's easy to deal with the business, because somebody can sit even in the US or UK and make sure that they have actually planned their business properly and followed how their businesses are doing. Madam Speaker, if this bill is fast-tracked, I'm sure it will be able to solve so many problems, both for the county and also national level as far as it is concerned. Thank you very much for all those who have supported me, and I beg to reply. I thank you.
Senator Dulo, you want to request deferring of the putting of the question?
Madam Speaker, I request deferring putting the question because of the numbers. Maybe we can do at a later date. I thank you.
For convenience of the Senate, it's now 6:20. 6:28. With only less than a minute and a half to go. Time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 5th August 2026 at 9:30.
Congrats. Done.
Asante, my dear.
Yeah.
making their way into the chamber. Just to note is that the bells are also ringing out outside the National Assembly chambers, of course, signaling to the members that the plenary sitting is about to commence. The time allocated for the sitting is 2:30 in the PM. And of course, the members shall be making their way into the chamber to get ready for the business that is lined up for consideration this afternoon. And we shall take a look at just some of the priority business that the members shall be looking into this plenary sitting or during this plenary sitting for this afternoon. There is a bill that is the county government's additional allocations bill. It's a bill that is originating from the Senate, and a bill that was transmitted to the National Assembly for consideration as well as concurrence. And this is a bill that is co-sponsored by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Budget and Appropriations. This is Honorable Samuel Atandi, the member for Lego Usonga constituency. The bill was already debated on the floor of the House during the second reading stage. That was during last week afternoon sitting. And basically, it is a bill that provides for the legal framework for channeling supplementary funds beyond the baseline equitable share to the country's 47 devolved units or the county governments. And this is for the financial year 2026-2027, which we are basically currently in. And this bill seeks to allocate 72.26 billion in conditional and unconditional transfers from both the national government's share of revenue as well as international development partners. This is a bill, as I had indicated earlier, that debate on it was concluded on the floor of the House during last week's sitting. And in today's order paper, is that the business that shall be transacted regarding this particular bill is consideration of the bill at the committee
Honorable
on
members,
the whole House
Mr.
stage, where
Speaker.
the members shall be taking a keen look at the contents of this bill clause by clause to be able to adopt those clauses. If there are amendments, as is indicated, is that they will also be considering those amendments on whether to be adopted or rejected. And that is part of the business that is coming up this afternoon. However, we can see the Speaker of the National Assembly has already stepped into the chamber. This is Honorable Dr. Moses Masika Wetangula. He will be presiding over this afternoon sitting. So let's head straight to the floor as the Speaker takes the chair. My name is Kamche Menza. Good afternoon.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, takusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tukuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatenda na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell. Milemba, where are your whips?
Well, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum breach, and the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes, of course, to give room to the members of the National Assembly to be able to make their way into the House. Remember, the House also, or remember, the members also sit in committees, which also constitute part of the business that the House or the National Assembly transacts or falls under its mandate, and therefore members perhaps could be working out from the committees and also at the same time making their way into the House. So in a few minutes that quorum shall be raised, and of course let's continue to take a look at that priority business that as the House sits for this plenary sitting this afternoon shall be transacting earlier on. I indicated that the County Government's Additional Locations Bill originating from the Senate is coming up for consideration at the Committee of the Whole. This means that the members shall be going through it clause by clause to be able to adopt those clauses as part of the bill. However, this is basically a bill that seeks to provide a legal framework for the channeling of supplementary funds beyond the baseline equitable share to Kenya's 47 county governments for the 2026-2027 financial year. And the bill allocates 72.26 billion in conditional and unconditional transfers, that is from both the national government's share of revenue and international development partners. From the money that is coming directly from the national government's share of revenue is 16.46 billion that will be sourced directly, and also 53.82 billion that will be financed through loans and grants from development partners such as the World Bank and among other development partners. There is also the unconditional allocations, which are being derived from local court fines and the 20% share of mineral royalties under the Mining Act. So some of the functions or priority areas that these monies are earmarked to be able to support include the healthcare and universal health coverage, that is UHC, also the industrialization and agriculture, as well as housing infrastructure, devolution and administration. So this is part of the priority business that this afternoon the members shall be able to dispense it, this bill. Also, as provided for in the House Standing Order 44, paragraph 2, part C, regarding statements that members can request from various committees, and also responses that the departmental committees give to some of the concerns that are normally forwarded to these departmental committees to be able to give comprehensive answers to, is that this afternoon the Honorable Member for Kilifi County, or rather for Kilifi South, Honorable Ken Chonga, will be requesting for a statement regarding the status of the opening of the Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Kilifi County, a statement that will be forwarded to the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife to be able to give a comprehensive answer to the member. There are also statements that shall be responded to this afternoon. There is the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security will be giving responses to two statements that were sought by the Honorable Member, one by the Honorable Member for Mwingi Central, Honorable Gideon Mulyungi, and Honorable Agnes Pareyo for Narok North regarding the security situation in Mwingi Central constituency and Narok North constituency, respectively. The quorum has been attained. I can see the Sergeant at Arms raising that white paper, signaling the quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over. Good afternoon.
Now have quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader, before you lay your papers, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery Mumol Junior School from Baringo, Central Baringo, St. Mary's Assumption from Kapenguria, West Pokot. In the public gallery, we have Kirarwa Comprehensive School from Kinangop, Nyandarua, Faithville Academy from Mgwen, Nandi, Kaprob Primary School from Moiben, Uasin Gishu, PAG Katonon from Mosop, Nandi. Honorable members, we also have in the Speaker's Gallery, other members on their feet, take your seats. Karoli. Member for Olkalau, you take the nearest seat when the Speaker says take your seat. Honorable members, allow me to introduce and recognize 2 delegations. The first delegation is of members of Bungoma County Assembly, my own county. It is the Assembly Service Board who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. They are Honorable Emmanuel Situma, Speaker and Chairperson of the Board, Honorable Joseph Juma, Vice Chairperson, who also doubles as the Majority Leader in the Assembly, Honorable Ali Machani, Member, and Ms. Jessica Mayabi, Member. The delegation, accompanied by the Deputy Clerk and other Assembly staff, is on a visit to engage with the National Assembly's Committee on Member Services and Facilities and share experiences on the management and operation of framework governing members' restaurant, gymnasium, and wellness amenities, among others. Honorable members, on my own behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome them to Parliament and wish them a fruitful engagement. Also in the Speaker's Gallery, allow me to recognize and introduce to you a delegation of 2 officers from the Directorate of Internal Audit Services and Directorate of Finance and Accounting Services of the Parliament of Namibia, who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The delegation, honorable members, is on a benchmarking visit to share best practices in the execution of their mandate from their counterparts in our institution. On my own behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome them to Parliament and wish them fruitful engagement during their stay. I thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 4th August 2026. A, legal notice number 137 of 2026 relating to the Parliamentary Service, Constituency and County Offices Regulations 2026, explanatory memorandum and evidence of stakeholders' engagement from the Parliamentary Service Commission. B, reports of the Auditor General financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools: ACK Giti Secondary School, ACK St. Luke's Cheptiret School, ACK St. Stephen's Kavutiru Boys Secondary School, AIC Kipk Boys High School, Giaki Girls Secondary School, Gitura Secondary School, Irkisonko Boys High School, Kantwana Mixed Day and Boarding Secondary School, Kianjai Boys Secondary School, Marlal Day Mixed Secondary School, Mariari Girls Secondary School, Mithiane Boys High School, Mituntu Girls Secondary School, Nkwaile Boys High School, Nyangawa Boys High School, Nyanturago Secondary School, Ortum Boys Secondary School, St. Elizabeth Bitobo Secondary School, St. Elizabeth Okatekok Secondary School, and Tigio Boys High School. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you, Owen. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Interim report on the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on its inquiry into the importation of raw sugar by Mombasa Sugar Refinery Limited. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Shinali, Chair, Departmental Committee on Trade.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the interim report on Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperative on its inquiry into importation of raw sugar by Mombasa Sugar Refinery Limited, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Thank you. Ken Chonga. Is Ken Chonga in the House?
Yes.
Where are you?
Here I am, Speaker.
Oh, go ahead.
My usual place.
That is not your usual place.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
You know
Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order number 44, subsection 2, subsection C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson for the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the status of the opening of the Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Kilifi County. Honorable Speaker, the Ronald Ngala Utalii College, a state-of-the-art institution fully financed by the government of Kenya through the Trust Fund, is scheduled to officially commence operations on the 1st of September 2026. The institution, which will be managed by the Kenya Utalii College, is expected to offer diploma and short courses programs in hospitality, catering, hotel management, housekeeping, seafaring, tourism management, and related disciplines. The inaugural intake is projected to admit approximately 1,000 students at the beginning of September 2026. Honorable Speaker, in preparation for the official opening on Thursday, 23rd July 2026, a high-level delegation led by the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Tourism and comprising the Governor of Kilifi County, the Chief Executive Officer for Tourism Fund Board, and the Chief Executive Officer of Utalii Kenya College, conducted an inspection visit to the institution to assess the progress and evaluate its readiness for the operationalization. Honorable Speaker, further, on Friday, 24th July 2026, a multidisciplinary technical committee drawn from the Kenya Utalii College, Nairobi, comprising of officers from the Information and Communication Technology, Security, Learning Resource Center, Food Production, Food and Beverages Services, Maintenance, and other relevant departments visited the institution to... Sorry, Speaker. Further, on Friday, 24th July 2026, a multidisciplinary technical team drawn from the Kenya Utalii College, Nairobi, comprising officers from the Information and Communication Technology, Security, Learning Resource Center, Food and Beverages Services, Maintenance, and other relevant departments visited the institution to commence on the final technical and administrative preparations necessary for the opening of the college. However, upon arrival at the facility, the team was denied access by the security personnel stationed at the gate, who indicated that they had purportedly received instructions from the Tourism Trust Fund management prohibiting entry into the premises. This action prevented the technical team from undertaking the preparatory activities necessary to facilitate the operationalization readiness for the institution ahead of its scheduled opening. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. 1, reasons for the denied entry of the experts from Kenya Utalii College into the Ronald Ngala Utalii College, despite the facility being under its maintenance. 2, its mandate, sorry. 2, confirmation on whether the opening of the facility will still proceed on the 1st of September 2026 as earlier scheduled, and if not, the reasons for any change. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Chair Tourism, wapi Kareke Mbiuki? Majority Leader, can you inform the Chair Tourism to bring a response in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Responses, is Gideon Mulyungi in the House? Yes. Committee on Administration and Internal Security Chair. Where is Tongoyo? Agnes Pareo, you are standing next to me and you have a statement. Go back. Go back. Is the Chair Internal Security here? Yes, Honorable Kapondi, do you have the statements ready?
I'm waiting for the statement, Mr. Speaker, but my chair is away, so he delegated the responsibility to me.
So you have 2 statements. What about the one of Gideon Mulyungi?
I'm yet to have the statements at hand, Mr. Speaker.
So as I go to the next statements, check and see if you can get the responses.
You, sir.
The next, Irene Mayaka. Irene Mayaka, not in the House. Carola Mondi. Is Carola Mondi in the House? Chair Agriculture. Chair Agriculture. Yes. When I last checked, the chair was Mutunga. I see you raising your hand, Honorable Member. Yes. Carola Mondi, I'm sorry, I had directed in House business that your statement request be stayed in view of the notice of motion and the paper laid by Shinali, which covers exactly the same issue, so that you can best deal with this matter through the motion. There's an interim report which came to my office. I approved it. It has been tabled. So you can enrich your inquiry through that process. I'll stay your request for the statement for another week or so. Honorable Gashove? In the House, Chair Transport, GK, are you ready? Yeah. Go ahead. Give the chair the mic. There you are.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member for Subukia constituency, Honorable Samuel Gashove MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the upgrading of a road in Subukia constituency. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, Honorable Gashove sought to establish, 1, plans being put in place to upgrade the Subukia, Mwangaza, Simboyoni, Kanyotu, Bogoine Road to bitumen standards, and 2, details of the funds allocated for the upgrading of the road in the financial year 25-26 and financial and the status of the funding. 3, timelines for commencement and completion of the upgrading work, and plans being taken by the ministry to improve the condition of the road and ensure accessibility, especially during the rainy seasons. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport through the Clerk of the National Assembly, which I now wish to make. 1, regarding the plans to upgrade the road to bitumen standards, the ministry submitted that the Kenya Rural Roads Authority had undertaken a reconnaissance study to establish the estimated costs of the upgrading of the road. The works are estimated to cost about 1.8 billion Kenya shillings. 2, regarding the funds allocated for the upgrading of the road, the ministry submitted that no funds had been allocated for the project in the financial year 25-26 and 26-27. Honorable Speaker, 3, regarding the timelines for commencement and completion, the ministry submitted that the upgrading works will commence once funding is made available. The response did not provide a specific completion date. And 4, regarding the measures being taken to keep the road accessible, the ministry stated that KERA continues to undertake routine maintenance to make the road motorable. The Mwangaza Siboi Polepole section was allocated 10 million Kenya shillings under the 10% RMLF for the financial year 25-26, and the works have been completed. 5, and last, the ministry further submitted that the Ponda Mali Kanyotu Bogoine section, road C1206, has been planned for routine maintenance under the 22% RMLF program for the financial year 26-27 at an estimated cost of 6.8 million. Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
Gashove.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to acknowledge the answer that has been given by the chairman, but I want to say that I'm not satisfied. The load is a 42-kilometer load, and looking at the estimated budget to upgrade it to bitumen standard is around 1.8 billion. And the chair reporting to us that they are maintaining the load at a cost of 15 million. That money is too retro. And the 15 million is the normal allocation that every constituency always receive every year. And therefore we are trying to do spot maintenance. And therefore the money is too retro. And I expected him to give even the timeline on when they can be able to upgrade it to bitumen standard. Second, Mr. Speaker, sir, I also expected him, even if they are not going to allocate money for the bitumen standard at the moment, for the maintenance purposes, he would have maybe enhanced the budget, allocated more money for the purposes of maintaining, but whatever that is allocated is too retro. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, the question of not having enough funding is not adding up. Most of the constituencies have been allocated money. And for example, recently, 10 constituencies in Nakuru County were allocated funding for maintenance, but Subukia constituency was left out. I would wish to know the criteria that was used to allocate other constituencies that Subukia was left out from this one. So I'm not satisfied, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Nabwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I wanted to ride on.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, I had sought a statement from the chair, the same chair for roads, over a road that connects Kenya to Ethiopia.
Can we exhaust this first?
Oh, okay.
Take your seat. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Had Honorable Kashove's concerns, but unfortunately I am limited to the response that the ministry has given me.
He has asked two simple questions which you can answer even if it's not in the statement. He says, you have allocated very little money to that road. What are you doing about it? And two, you've given money for maintenance of roads to all constituencies in Nakuru except his. Why?
Honorable Speaker, that is not part of the question that he raised here. So if he needs me to respond in that manner, I need to get that information from the ministry.
Kashove, you hear that?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
You can
He's alluding to the fact that it was not part of the question, but part of the question was, have they allocated any money, any amount of money, either for bitumen standard or either for maintenance? And he's saying it's not a part of that question.
But as a member of parliament, if money is allocated, when do you see it in the books?
What I'm trying to say, Mr. Speaker, sir, to explain, whatever he has put it here is the true amount of money, 22% and 10% that are allocated to every constituency. Has a patron in the chair committee. We try to do sport maintenance, but of whatever that we had requested, he has not done anything. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I request your intervention to have even the CS intervene on this, because the road is in a deplorable situation. It is not accessible, not terrible, and therefore the answer, I feel, is not adequately responded to.
Thank you. GK, can you seek more information and furnish the member through your committee?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I'll seek further information.
Thank you, Nabwin.
Thank you.
Honorable Nabwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had sought a statement from Chair Roads and Transport over a road that connects our part of the country to Ethiopia. That is Kibish. That statement was read in April, but until today I haven't...
in April?
April, yes.
GK, you know about it?
The committee has not even engaged on the same.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will engage my clerk, committee clerk.
Can you bring a response on
yes, to find
Thursday
out
this week?
why it has delayed. Thank you.
Honorable Kapondi, do you have the response now? Give Honorable Kapondi the...
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Start with the one of Gideon Mulyungi.
The one for Gideon.
Security situation in Mwingi Central.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I have the two statements. There is a statement that was sought by the Member of Parliament for Mwingi Central constituency, Honorable Gideon Mulyungi.
Go ahead with that.
And I wish to respond as follows. Because the issues raised, he wanted in particular the identities and circumstances surrounding the exhumation of 4 bodies from shallow graves near Kasina Primary School in Mwingi Town on 9th of June 2026. B, the identities and status of investigations into the matter of the two bodies found dumped at River Kangiga in May 2026. C, the status of investigations into the disappearance of Mr. Gumbau Kianga, reported at Mwingi Police Station by OP number 29/4/11 of 2024, and the steps taken to establish his whereabouts. D, he wanted the status of investigations into the murder of Ms. Wilfred Kanyae. A, the measures being taken by the relevant security agencies to enhance patrol, surveillance, intelligence, gathering, and community engagement to restore security within Mwingi County. And F, the long-term measures being put in place to restore public confidence and ensure justice for the affected families and prevent similar incidents. Mr. Speaker, I wish to state as follows: the identities and circumstances surrounding the exhumation of four bodies. Mr. Speaker, on 8th of June 2026, a report was made at Mwingi Police Station that a foul smell was emanating from a bush near Galana Petrol Station on the outskirts of Mwingi town. Police officers responded immediately and established the presence of suspected shallow graves. The area was secured and an application for exhumation orders was made. Following the issuance of an exhumation order by the Mwingi Law Courts on 9th of June 2026, a multi-agency team comprising officers from the National Police Service, the DCI, the Department of Public Health, and Ministry of Health exhumed four decomposed bodies of unidentified adult males from four separate shallow graves. Subsequently, forensic experts from the DCI headquarters conducted scene reconstruction and transferred the remains to Nairobi City Funeral Home for forensic examination, preservation, and post-mortem analysis. To date, none of the bodies has been positively identified, and no relatives have come forward to claim the remains. Investigations remain ongoing under the DCI Homicide Unit to establish the identities of the deceased and bring those responsible to justice. B, the identities and status of investigations into the matter of the two bodies found dumped at River Kangiga in May 2026. Honorable Speaker, the first body that of an identified adult male was recovered on 28th April 2026 beneath Tia Bridge. The body bore visible injuries and was preserved pending identification and postmortem examination. On 24th of May 2026, a second decapitated and decomposed body of an identified adult female was recovered, concealed in bushes along the Tia River. Police investigations, assisted by a police canine unit, subsequently recovered the missing head. A pair of pliers believed to have been used during the commission of the offense was recovered and secured as an exhibit. Both investigations were taken over by the DCI Homicide Unit. On 16th of May 2026, the investigating team, accompanied by a forensic team from DCI headquarters, attended the autopsy exercise of the 6 unknown bodies at Nairobi City Funeral Home conducted by Dr. Johannes Owuor, the chief government pathologist, who opined the cause of death for each body to be as follows. Body of identification number, MW/body 1/24/5/2026, cause of death, unascertained due to decomposition. Body number 2/25/5 of 2026, cause of death, ligature strangulation. Body number 3/9/6 of 2026, cause of death, head injury due to blunt force trauma. Body number 4/09/6/2026 is ligature strangulation. Body number 5/9/6 of 2026, cause of death, head injury. Body number 6/24/5/2026, cause of death, head injury due to blunt force trauma. DNA and toxicology samples are collected from all 6 bodies and forwarded to government chemists for analysis, investigation, and investigation remain ongoing. C, the status of investigation into the disappearance of Mr. Ngumbau Kianga reported at Mwingi Police Station via OB number 29/4/11 of 2024 and steps taken to establish his whereabouts. Honorable Speaker, on the November 2024, Mr. Muli Kianga reported the disappearance of his son, Mr. Ngumbau Kianga, at Mwingi Police Station via OB number 29/4/11 of 2024. He reported that his son, a boda operator from Lundi Village, Mui location, Mwingi East Sub-County, Kitui County, had received a phone call on 3rd November 2024 from an identified individual requesting transport service. On the morning of 4th of November 2024, Mr. Ngumbau Kianga left home at approximately 6 a.m. in the morning aboard his motorcycle to attend to the purported client but failed to return home. Efforts by the family members to reach him were unsuccessful, prompting the missing person report to the police. Investigations were immediately commenced and a missing person signal circulated nationally. Investigations led to the arrest of one suspect, Joseph Ngui, whom a SIM card associated with the missing person was recovered and secured as an exhibit. A second suspect, Florence Mavengi Malombe, was arrested on 6 February 2025, and mobile phone believed to be of evidential value was recovered from a residence at Lundi Center. Joyce Kitondo Mutembi, who was identified as the last person to have communicated with the missing person and the alleged client who requested transport services, was also arrested on 7 February 2025. The 3 suspects were presented before court under miscellaneous application number 17 and 18 of 2025, where custodial orders were granted for their detention at Kitui Central Police Station for 10 days to facilitate investigations, including the acquisition of our call data records from the relevant mobile service providers. Upon expiry of the custodial period, the suspects were released after the miscellaneous applications were concluded, as the requested call data records had not yet been availed. The matter was subsequently scheduled for mention on 26th of October 2025, when the court was informed that one of the suspects, Joyce Kitondo Mutemi, had passed away and had already been buried, a fact that was confirmed through production of a burial permit by her son. Investigations into the disappearance of Ngumbau Kianga remain ongoing. His whereabouts have not yet been established, and the matter remains pending before the court. Status of investigations into the matter of Ms. Wilfred Kanyaya. Honorable Speaker, on 12th of May 2026, at approximately 6:30 a.m., Mr. Cyrus Mbwenyi Mwangangi reported at the Kithiogo Police Station by ROPI number 06/12/05/2026 that he had discovered the lifeless body of his girlfriend, Ms. Wilfred Kanyaya, at Kithiogo River. Police officers from Masinga Police Station promptly visited the scene at Kithiogo River in Masinga Sub-County, Machakos County, where
How
they
much
recovered the body.
longer, Kapondi?
It is a lengthy statement, Mr. Speaker.
Can you paraphrase it? Too long.
Yeah, it is too long. So let me just give the highlights of it. The post-mortem examination conducted on the body, Mr. Speaker, on 20th of 2026 by Dr. Vita Christopher concluded that the cause of death was strangulation, secondary to blunt force trauma, and neck compression, findings consistent with assault. The deceased mobile phone recovered at the scene was subjected to forensic examination analysis, and it established that the incoming and outgoing communication prompting investigation to request call data records from the relevant mobile service provider. The results are pending. The matter remains under active investigation, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the measures taken by the rebel security agencies to enhance patrol, surveillance, intelligence gathering, and community engagement, several interventions to strengthen security within Mwingi Central have been implemented, including the National Police Service has strengthened both foot and mobile patrols to deter criminals while maintaining a heightened police presence in key areas and other vulnerable occasions. 2, the National Police Service has circulated the Fichua Kwa DCI toll-free hotline and encouraged members of the public to report incidents and share intelligence anonymously with assurance of confidentiality and safety of whistleblowers. 3, community policing committees are being revitalized to strengthen collaboration between law enforcement agencies and local communities. This initiative promotes real-time investigation, information sharing, and enable quicker responses to suspicious activities and emerging threats. 4, regular public forums and consultative meetings are being conducted. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the long-term measures being put in place to restore public confidence, ensure justice for the affected families, and prevent similar incidences. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry continues to implement long-term reforms, including enhancing transparency through regular public communication on progress of investigation, while safeguarding the integrity of criminal proceedings. Secondly, strengthening accountable, people-centered policing anchored on the rule of law, professionalism, and respect for human rights. 3, continuous capacity building and specialized training of investigations to improve investigation effectiveness. And finally, leveraging on modern technology, including digital case management systems, electronic occurrence box, CCTV integration, and digital tools to enhance accountability, evidence management, and operational efficiency. Honorable Speaker, we appreciate the concerns raised by the Honorable Member and wishes to assure this House that every effort is being made to establish the identities of the deceased persons, apprehend those responsible for these heinous crimes, and ensure that justice is served. The Ministry remains committed to strengthening security in Mwingi Central constituencies and across the country through sustained collaboration with all stakeholders. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mulungi, you've heard that long, winding statement.
Yes,
The long and short of it.
Honorable
is that,
Speaker,
hold on, Mulungi.
the long and short of that statement.
Mulungi, Skiza. The matter is in court, right? Kapon, did you say the people have been arraigned in court?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the matter is
So
before the
whatever
court.
clarifications you wish to have should not prejudice the court proceedings.
Honorable Speaker, there are 3 issues. It's only one in court.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, Honorable Speaker, the long and short of that statement is that it's not factual. It's not factual at all.
Challenge him.
It's not factual. Reason because, number one, Mr. Speaker, these bodies were exhumed in June. And from that statement, those bodies have not been identified who they are from what he has said. And that is 3 months ago, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, also, we do not know because from the community, nobody has claimed those bodies. It means those bodies were transported from elsewhere to Mwingi. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we do not know how those bodies were transported to be buried in the town center, where we have roadblocks along the road. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we do not know who committed those crimes. Nothing has happened. That is on the mass graves. On the matter of Gumbau Kianga, the matter is in court. But Mr. Speaker, the family is not updated. They are not aware whether the matter is in court because it is the family who brought the matter to me. So the DCI, the IO, does not brief the family. That is where the problem is, Mr. Speaker, sir. On the matter of Winfred Kanya, who was murdered, the report, the statement says that corn data were taken for analysis. And the police are waiting for the report of the analysis. Mr. Speaker, this is 3 months ago. How can the police be waiting for analysis of corn data for 3 months? This is something that can be done in less than a week from my previous experience. So there must be something that is not right, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
they are saying that they have taken action. The police in Mwingi have taken action to involve the communities. And they have said they have shared Fichua kwa DCI hotline number. If as the area member of parliament, I'm not aware that there is a hotline that has been circulated by the DCI in Mwingi, who else is aware? If I'm not aware myself. Number two, they have said,
You have five questions.
They have said they have established community committees. They are not there. They are not community committees in Mwingi town. And they also
can
say
you respond to that?
they are holding public barazas. The police are holding public barazas. Where? Can they produce evidence where they have held public barazas? They don't. The police in Mwingi town do not work with the communities and the local leaders, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Honorable Kapondi.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, maybe for the benefit of the member, on Fichua kwa DCI toll-free hotline, I can read it to him so that he can write it down and maybe inform his constituents. The hotline number is 0800 722 203. So my colleague, you can note that down. And secondly, these cases are still very active and the files are open. Due diligence has to be done when investigations are ongoing, Mr. Speaker. You cannot just hurry because you want to satisfy the interests of a member for other reasons. So the files are open, the investigations are still ongoing. So the member of parliament from Mwingi Central should be patient and wait for the conclusion of the investigation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next, do you have the response to Pareo?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I have a response.
How long is it?
It is long, but I'll try to
paraphrase it.
Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, the member of parliament for Narok North requested for a response regarding to the security situation at Rose Farm. And the service wishes to respond as follows. The circumstances that led to the current insecurity and violence at Rose Farm, bordering Otokurto location in Narok North constituency, including a record of the legal ownership of the farm and the history of the dispute. On 6th of May 2026 at around 14:30 hours, Mr. Davidson Chesaina, a manager at Rose Farm, made a report at Mount Narok Police Station by OB number 12/6/5 of 2026 that a group of about 30 youths armed with crude weapons, including pangas and other offensive weapons, invaded the farm while claiming ownership. During the incident, invaders intimidated farm workers before setting ablaze 3 semi-permanent residential houses occupied by employees. Pursuant to the report, police officers immediately swung into action and they secured and processed the scene. The assailants fled upon noticing the arrival of the officers. Preliminary investigations established that the houses, together with the household property of unknown value, were completely destroyed by fire. Several persons of interest were summoned, interviewed, and their statements recorded. Investigations led to the arrest of 4 suspects, Mr. Speaker, namely Evans Kibios Tagi, Frederick Saruni Cole, Victor Barsamet Tagi, and George Murundoi Yengo. The suspects were released on cash bail pending the conclusion of the investigation. The investigations further established that Rose Farm is associated with a long-standing dispute concerning the ownership and occupation of LR number 8679/2, measuring approximately 716 acres. The issue was escalated by a local leader who is alleged to have held a meeting with the management of the farm, alleging that there was an agreement between the ADC management and the locals to have the land be shared equally, but with no evidence of any written documentation. Further, the locals were incited by claims that the government was planning to settle IDPs at Rose Farm without consulting them, despite the assertion that the land is ancestral. Consequently, they demanded allocation of 50% of the approximately 716 acres comprising the ADC farm, failure to which they threatened to prevent the tilling of the land and the harvesting of potato seeds. The Sub-County Security Committee of Narok, North, and Njoro held a consultative meeting with local community members to de-escalate tension and prevent further escalation of the dispute while the relevant government agencies work towards resolving the land ownership dispute. The matter remains pending under investigations. 2, on measures currently in place to restore law and order, the National Police has put in place measures to prevent further escalation as follows: increased deployment of police to the affected area, intensified security patrols and surveillance within the ADC farm, conducted intelligence-led operations to identify and apprehend all persons involved in the violence, continued monitoring of the security situation to prevent recurrence of similar incidences. Regarding of excessive use of force by police officers, the NPS reiterates that all police operations are conducted strictly in compliance with the Constitution of Kenya, the NPS Act, and the National Police Service standing orders governing the use of force. Any claims of police misconduct are subjected to investigations through the established internal accountability mechanism and the relevant independent oversight institutions where applicable. On the long-term interventions, the service has put in place a number of measures to permanently resolve the dispute, hold those responsible for violence and destruction accountable, and guarantee lasting peace and security in Rose Farm and the surrounding areas. The matter in question relates to a long-standing dispute concerning the ownership and occupation of the land, measuring approximately 716 acres. The service has appealed to NLC to address the underlying issues surrounding land ownership claims and the adjudication process. The NPS has further enhanced security within the affected areas to prevent a recurrence of similar incidences while the dispute is being addressed by the relevant government agencies, including intensified intelligence collection to detect, deter, and disrupt any planned unlawful activities, increased police deployment, and the sustained patrols to maintain law and order. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the County Security Intelligence Committee has convened several security meetings in the area, which has restored peace, stability, and normalcy in the area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Pareo. Judy Pareo, Mama. Give Honorable Pareo the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to respond to the questions. And I just want to say that the questions have not been answered because, one, my people were not armed. They were found in their own houses, villages, at 6, and nobody gave a notice of any issue. So there was a lot of confrontation and the shootings, and the police moved people left and right without explaining them why they were there and why they were shooting. And then there was a lot of force that was used to cultivate the land. So my people are still waiting for the answers to the ownership of the land, because we still don't know, and we don't know why they were using force, and there was nobody that was refusing them the opportunity if they had a right. So to me, I think the question have not been answered well. Thank you.
This question has been exhaustively answered. In fact, what we are waiting for is the NLC to go into the matter. But as far as these people getting armed with crude weapons, it was a very clear case. So, my honorable colleague, what I wish to advise is you can consult so that we can discuss this matter further.
Thank you. We'll leave it there, Judith. Irene Mayaka. Question stayed to another day. That's the end of questions, sorry, statements. Next. I acknowledge the schools. In the Speaker's Gallery, honorable members, we have Holy Trinity Girls Senior School from Kapenguria, West Pokot. We have Sitam Schools from Kisumu, Central Kisumu. In the public gallery, we have Kenyanya School from Bomachoge, Borabu, Kisii. Nibs College from Juja, Kiambu. Olmeosh School from Kilgoris, Narok. Olongolin School from Kilgoris, Narok. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next.
Order number 8.
Hold on. Member for Bomachoge? Yes.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Take less than a minute. We have so many schools in the gallery.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, it's a pleasure to take the mic to welcome Kenyanya Junior Academy to this Parliament. I'm sure it's a surreal moment for them. I would like to wish them as they walk around and ask questions around what this Parliament is about. I want to wish them very well. I want to say how proud I am of the work that they continue to do in their academics, and also welcome the other schools that have accompanied them to this Parliament. I wish them well as they travel back. I thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next.
Order number 8, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024. Question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 8, which is the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. If those of the contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to various laws and for connected purposes.
Next.
Order number 9, the Competition Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2026. Question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is the Competition Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2026, be now read a second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Competition Act and for connected purposes.
Next.
Order number 10, motion. Second report of the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. Mover to reply.
Chairperson, Committee on Implementation. Rafael Wanjala. I thought I heard him talking from the back there. Can somebody search, capture, and bring Rafael Wanjala to the house? I saw him here. Before we get to Wanjala, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Lakewood School from Rongo, Migori, Chakim Baptist Chakim Baptist School from Buri, Meru, St. Scholastica School from Moibenu, Asingishu, Legacy School from Kiminini, Trans Nzoia. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to Parliament. Order number 10. Majority Leader, where is Rafael Wanjala?
Honorable Speaker, I have not seen Rafael today.
Any member of the Implementation Committee?
Any member of this committee?
Any member of the Implementation Committee?
Who is the Vice Chair?
In the House?
Implementation? Who is the Vice Chair?
Okay, we'll proceed to the next order.
Next one.
Order number 11.
Order number 11, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, will you be upstanding?
Order members, we are now in the Committee of the Whole House for the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026.
Clause 3 and 4.
I propose the question that clause 3 and 4 be part of the bill. There is no amendment. I put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Chair, Budget and Appropriations Committee, you have some amendments. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 5 be amended. A, in sub clause 2, by deleting paragraph C, 1 and 2 deleting paragraph 6, and B, and in subclause B, and in B in subclause 3 by deleting the words, deleting from 1 to 8. I just want to summarize, Honorable Chair, by stating that these deletions, the deletions are, we are deleting KIPES allocations because KIPES allocations were redirected for equipping of the same. So we had removed them from this bill. And 2, we are deleting paragraph F that allocated resources for settlement of arbitrary award to the county government of Meru. So these 2 deletions is the reason we are making these amendments. Just in summary. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. If you intend to speak to these, use the intervention. Makali Mulu.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I wanted to support this amendment. Just as my chairman has said, the reason why there is this amendment is because the money is not in the budget for the new structures. So I support.
Very well. I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
These have no amendments. I propose the question that the clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be part of the bill, be the schedule of the bill. I now put the question that the first schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Second schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule, but that the second schedule be the schedule of the bill. It has some amendments, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Essentially, what we are doing here, Chair, is to replace the schedule so that the new schedule reflects the changes that we made when we deleted the KIPES allocations as well as the allocations to the Meru County government. Thank you.
I therefore propose the question that the second schedule be, as amended, be the schedule of the bill. I therefore put the question that the second schedule, as amended, be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Third schedule.
I propose the question that the third schedule be the schedule of the bill. There is a proposed amendment.
Honorable Chair, I propose that the bill be amended by deleting the third schedule and replacing therefore with the new schedule. The new schedule provides for the changes to the donor funds that align with the budget and reflecting the grant and loan components. Honorable Chair, we had separated funds that were meant funds that are grants and funds that are loans. So what we are doing is basically to align it so that it reflects the changes. Thank you.
Very well. I propose the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. No interest. I therefore put the question that the third schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the third schedule as amended be the schedule of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Long title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a counter opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment. Chairperson BA back committee. Give Honorable Atandi the microphone.
I propose that the clause 1 of the bill be amended by inserting the words and shall come into force upon publication in the Gazette immediately after the words County Government's Additional Allocations Act 2026. Honorable Chair, the intention here is that there's a provision in Article 116 of the Constitution that a specific date of commencement be provided, that date be specific and be provided. And because, Honorable Chair, this bill contains funds for confirmation of UHC staff, we want to make sure that immediately this bill is signed into law, it takes effect immediately, so that these workers can be immediately confirmed. Thank you.
It's okay. Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a counter opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 1 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a counter opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end of that committee. Mover to move reporting.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, up and its approval thereof with amendments, and to seek leave to sit again.
No, you end it at with amendments. Take it again.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, up and its approval there with amendments.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a counter opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Madam Speaker.
Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report to the Committee of the Whole House has considered the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable Makali Mulu to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Makali Mulu. Give Honorable Makali the microphone.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I do second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Do I put the question? I put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover? Move that reading. You're not done yet. Honorable Attorney.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, be now read at that time.
Appoint a seconder.
And request the Honorable Makali move to second.
Honorable Makali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I do second the reading of the third reading of the bill.
Very well. Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the county government's additional allocations bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, be now read a third time. Member for Seme.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support the third reading, but I would like to make 2 points. One, Madam Speaker, this is a bill that comes for additional allocation. It goes, the Senate works on it after we have done the budget. But I've noted that even things that have actually not been removed or been changed in the budget, do still come, and we have to make amendments as the chair of the committee was doing. And I think this is so basic that if the process are coordinated, what has been removed from the budget should not appear. So I think next time, maybe Senate should be more careful. Number 2, Madam Speaker, this particular additional allocation is so important as regards the UHC workers. We hope that now the counties and the governors will now actually absorb these people, because this is the second time this money is being put and the process is not being completed. So I call upon the governors to actually this time settle the matter of UHC workers. That I support.
CNN.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just want to say that I support this bill, but Madam Speaker, I just raise the concern the time it has come when we have already done the budget. But I really want to request the governors to be serious. Madam Speaker, most of the people, they are going to hospitals and they are being told to buy drugs, to buy even things to do vaccination. Most of the hospitals